Today, on the Vince Everett Ellison Show. Yeah, the Democrats love drug dealers. They want us to save them when we're trying to kill them. They're trying to get the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, trying to put him in jail and trying to court-martial people and do all this stuff because they're killing drug dealers. And I told you the Democratic Party was a party of drug dealers. They were, and they are their biggest supporters. And we're going to talk about that today on the Vince Everett Ellison Show. Let's get this thing started. Now, I looked this up today before I came down here. You know how many drugs that the cartels sell in America every year? These are 2013 numbers. So over 100 billion. This in 2013. That's 12 years ago. $100 billion worth of drugs. This is before the fentanyl crisis. I bet it's 200 billion now. Drugs in the United States of America, 200 billion. Do you think they're hiding that money under mattresses? Or do you think they put it in the banks and you think a lot of rich people are getting rich off of it? You think the Democrats might have a little bit of that money themselves and run for office? Think about how much political clout just one of those billion can buy. That's just 1% of it. You go to 1/10 of 1%, that's $100 million. It's a little over $500,000 for every Democrat that's up there. They'll take it. This is the reason why Joe Biden opened up those borders. This is the reason why over 100,000 people are dying in America every year from fentanyl poisoning. This is why sex trafficking, and this is why human trafficking was coming across that border in such astronomical numbers under Joe Biden and the Democrats. You know why? And this is why the Democrats are going ape-blank crazy because Donald Trump is killing drug couriers in the Caribbean. I mean, they're losing their mind over it. So, the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, was given instructions by Donald Trump to go into the Caribbean and find these guys bringing the drugs from Venezuela and kill them. Trump said, we're going to kill drug dealers. That's what he said. And sure enough, Pete started lighting them up. Now, something interesting happened in the midst of all of this. 4 Democrats, Senator Elisa Slotkin from Michigan, Senator Mark Kelly from Arizona, this guy by the name of Chuck DeLuzio, Maggie Gutlander. There's more than 4. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Chris Houlihan and Jason Crow. They all made this commercial telling American soldiers that they did not have to obey orders that they thought were unlawful.
Congressman Chris DeLuzio joined 5 other Democratic lawmakers, all of them military or intelligence community veterans, to urge current officials to disobey illegal orders. Michigan Senator Elisa Slotkin, a former CIA analyst, posted the video. The lawmakers say threats to the Constitution aren't just coming from abroad.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
The Army,
or Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
Slotkin told the New York Times that she's heard from active duty troops who are concerned about the legality of strikes on people the Trump administration says are drug traffickers. The administration called the video an attempt to encourage the military to rebel against Trump.
Now, a lot of these soldiers don't have law degrees. So how do they know that the order that they're given is unlawful? They have to make that determination themselves. So basically what they're telling these soldiers to do are, they're talking about mutinies and insurrections and things like that. Of course, Trump got mad. But immediately after this, a tape was released, a video, of an attack from an American warship, or maybe one of the airplanes, I forget which one, airplane or warship, on one of these boats carrying drugs to America. This has to be a pretty big boat because it had 11 men on it. So that wasn't a small boat if it's carrying 11 men. Just packed with dope. The missile hits the boat, blows it up.
Since early September, President Donald Trump has ordered a series of controversial military strikes on boats in the Caribbean and the Eastern Pacific. The administration says the vessels were smuggling drugs from Venezuela and from Colombia. But officials in both countries, and many in Washington, are questioning whether that's true and whether these strikes are even legal. It started on September 2nd, when President Trump posted a video online that showed what he said was a strike on a, quote, Venezuelan narco-terrorist boat. He claimed the 11 people killed were linked to Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. Maduro denied it.
Venezuela es un país libre de producción de hoja de coca, libre de producción de cocaína.
Less than 2 weeks later, there was another strike, this time killing 3 people. When asked by reporters about that strike, Trump said the incident occurred in international waters, and he insisted, quote, we have proof that that boat was carrying drugs because of the cargo that was in the ocean. On September,
satellite footage shows that there are 2 men, they say, holding on to the boat, and that these men are survivors, and then another missile comes and hits them and blows it up. All the press finds out about it. Now remember, this comes right after they say you don't have to obey unlawful orders. And the first lie they told was that Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, and they changed the name from Secretary of Defense to Secretary of War, that Pete told the boat or the airplane to shoot the boat again and sink it, in killing the 2 survivors. They said, Pete said, kill everybody. Hit them again. Oh, they went crazy. Pete Hegseth, war crime. Pete Hegseth, kill everybody. Now me, when I read it, I said, good. Hell yeah, kill everybody. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you are not willing to use the same tactics as your enemy, you already lost the fight.
I want to get Capone. I don't know how to get him.
Want to get Capone? Here's how you get him. He pulls a knife, you pull a gun. He sends one of yours to the hospital, you send one of his to the morgue.
This is a dirty war. They're killing 100,000 of our children a year. Do you know how many children we lost? A little over 50,000 in Vietnam in 10 years of fighting. We're losing twice that every year in America from fentanyl. 100,000. We've had close to 1 million children die of fentanyl poisoning, y'all. We're getting closer we are getting close to losing more children in fentanyl poisoning than we've lost in all of our wars combined, from the American Revolution up until now. This is what China calls a smokeless war. This is what Abraham Lincoln said when he said, nobody can come and take an American by force. They can't cross our 2 oceans. We'll have to live together as free men or we'll die by suicide. And right now, America is committing suicide. Donald Trump sees it, and Trump says, I'm going to stop it. And guess what the Democrats say? Man, they should have over $100 billion a year of dope here, and they are paying for our campaigns. We got to stop this. What other reason? Why would you be upset about dope dealers getting shot and killed? Nobody cares about the rule. International law? We determine international law. Tell me, who is international law? International law is a euphemism. There's no international law court. What they're going to try to do is get The Hague in the Netherlands to put some type of war crime warrant on Pete Hegseth or Donald Trump and try to get the national courts to do something, well, not the national court, but the global court to do something that they couldn't get done over in the United States of America. They're going to actually try to get a war crimes warrant on Pete Hegseth. And then they'll try to take it up to Donald Trump because Donald Trump has said, kill the drug dealers. You know why? Because Democrats want the drug trade to continue in the United States of America. It's just that simple, y'all. If it wasn't that, the Democrats would say, hit them again. Talking about due process. It was in the due process when they killed 100,000 of our children on the street. This is how they beat us. Due process. Comes a time when you got to abandon the writ of habeas corpus and just say, go find them and kill them. You bought it on yourselves. It's gotten just that dangerous. The Democrats support the drugs and the dope. You know why? Because all the cartels who are making billions of dollars from selling dope and doing human trafficking and who's doing sex trafficking, they all have K Street lawyers up in D.C., and these lawyers all are lobbyists, and they give money to the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party then votes to keep the border open. The Democrats then vote to allow the fentanyl across the border to be sold. They allow the sex trafficking across the border, and the Democrats control the big cities where all this stuff is being sold. They will not stop it. You are not selling $100 billion worth of drugs a year and having it in hefty bags, walking around with it. It goes into banks, it goes into institutions, and they know where that money is coming from. Everybody knows. They know where it's coming from. The lawyers are getting paid by this money. The Democrats are getting paid with this money, and then the money goes back to the cartels by the 18-wheeler loads. So the Democrats say that they are concerned that we're not giving drug dealers due process. And when you look at CNN, MSNBC, oh, they tripping.
On the heels of a diplomatic victory in the Middle East, is the Trump administration risking an entirely new conflict, even closer to home? Last night, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth confirmed a 9th U.S. strike on an alleged drug boat. Alleged. This one was the second such strike in the Pacific after a string of strikes on boats in the Caribbean and Atlantic. Those strikes fueling a deepening public rift between President Trump and Venezuelan strongman Nicolas Maduro and Colombian leader Gustavo Petro. This afternoon, Petro said Colombia has been incredibly effective in seizing cocaine on its own, and he accused the U.S. of carrying out extrajudicial executions, a charge repeated in the halls of Congress as well. On Wednesday, Maduro upped the ante, claiming he has 5,000 Russian missiles in, quote, key air defense positions to guarantee peace, unquote. Here's how President Trump...
Right now, we've killed 87 drug dealers. I think we've killed a whole lot more. These are the only ones that we know about. And, boy, they are mad. Now, think about this. They're not saying anything about the 100,000 young people that are dying in America a year. Now, they're not mad about that. But they mad as hell about them 87 drug dealers. Because you're messing with their money now, okay? Oh, this got to stop. This is a complete violation of international law. Oh, they're having press conferences on it. They're going in. They're having committee meetings, and they're bringing people up. They brought General, his name is Frank Bradley. Frank Bradley owned up to it. He said, "Hey man, I'm the one that ordered the double tap." And they said, "Oh, we thought it was Pete."
CNN has learned that Admiral Frank Mitch Bradley, who oversaw the operation, told lawmakers today on the Hill that the two survivors did not, as some defense officials have been claiming for months behind the scenes, radio for backup before a second strike killed them. That's according to two sources with direct knowledge of today's closed-door briefings, during which a select group of senators and Congress members were shown classified video of the strikes. Democratic Congressman Jim Himes, who saw the footage, called it, quote, one of the most troubling things I've seen. A short time later, he elaborated on that with CNN's Jake Tapper.
The video was enormously, enormously disturbing, and I can't describe it in detail, but to tell you that the initial strike, as you might imagine, when a piece of munitions falls on a small boat, did an immense amount of damage, caused a huge amount of fire, and ultimately the end result was 2 individuals without any weaponry, without any tools of any kind, clinging to a wrecked boat, really what looked like flotsam. You know, and we observed them for a long time, and the commanders involved said that they believed that there might be some chance they would be rescued, that there might be some chance that the cocaine on board could be recovered. But these 2 individuals, to anyone looking at this thing, would say are moments away from slipping under the waves. The decision was taken to kill them, and that is in fact what happened. And that was pretty hard to watch, I must say.
So see, that don't have any motivation to put Bradley in jail. So they're like, Bradley, did Pete tell you to do this? No. Did Pete kind of nod at you and tell you to do it? No. Did Pete say, Bradley, you don't do that. You better not do it. Well, no, he didn't say that. Okay, we got it. They want Pete Hegseth. Pete came from Fox News. They hate Pete. They hate Pete because he came from Fox News. And then they're going to try to get Trump some type of way because Trump was the one that told Pete to go into the Caribbean and shoot these ships. So this is their game, y'all. They want to keep the drugs flowing. They want to, motivate Trump and Pete to stop killing their employers, their employees. Well, these would be their employers. Because Trump's next move, he said, is to start killing them on the land. And then his next move is to start going into Mexico and into Venezuela and killing them there. He has branded these people terrorists. And just like he did when we was fighting ISIS, he's not going to give them any safe harbor. See, they were beating us in the Middle East because Barack Obama had these had these rules of engagement where if a terrorist ran into a mosque, you couldn't shoot the mosque. Because the mosque, because it's a mosque. So they run to the mosque and start shooting out at soldiers, and the soldiers can't do anything. If you ran into a school, you couldn't shoot up the school. You ever ran into a hospital, you couldn't shoot the hospital, so on and so forth. Well, Donald Trump got in the office, and Donald Trump says, if they run into that mosque, it's no longer a mosque. It's a terrorist hideout. Shoot it, blow it up. If they run into that school, blow it up. If they run into the hospital, blow it up. And guess what started happening? When the terrorists started running into these places, the people started pushing them out. And it stopped it. Right now, with Trump them blowing up these boats in the Caribbean, guess who's going to start telling these guys to stay out of the Caribbean? The fishermen, the commercial vessels. They're going to start dropping dime on them because they don't want to be misconstrued. They know that Trump's getting ready to put a dent into the drug trade. And the Democrats can't have that. I mean, the only way you're going to vote for a Democrat is if you're high anyway. Or drunk. Or crazy. So again, this party is an evil institution. It's a party of slavery from 1800 to 1860. It's a party of the Confederacy from 1860 to 1865. It's a party of Jim Crow from 1865 to 1965. And now they're the part of 9-month abortion, castrating little boys, calling them little girls, cutting off the breasts of little girls and calling them little boys, taking the Bible out of the library of schools and putting porn in, having drag queens go in these schools and shake their behinds in the children's faces. This is a party of grooming children, giving them transgender operations without their parents' knowledge. This is a party of allowing men to go into women's bathrooms, allowing men to go into women's locker rooms and safe spaces. This is an evil institution, y'all. This is a part of taking your guns away, kicking God out of the public square. Poverty, crime, no cash bail. Anything that's wrong and bad, they want to do it. Legalizing prostitution. Porn, obesity, illegal immigration, not working, sex trafficking. Good God Almighty, man! I'm like, psh. Now look at this. Pete Hegseth is trying to kill drug dealers who are bringing poison into this country, killing our children. And Democrats are more concerned about the drug dealer than they are about the American citizens who are dying at their hand. They're more concerned about these foreigners, these non-citizens who are bringing drugs and killing our children, as opposed to worrying about our children who are dying from this poison. Y'all vote for these people, y'all deserve everything you get. Instead, they should be saying, gloves are off, we're going to kill them all. Shouldn't they be saying that? Gloves are off. We're putting out the clarion call. If we even think you got some drugs, we're going to kill you. We're going to blow your damn boat up. Try me. And if some of you surviving in the water, we're going to send some helicopters and shoot you while you're in it. Yeah, that's how we playing the game now. Oh, that's too hard. That's too mean. No, those are your employers. We're protecting our children. It's a situation where if you even threaten the children, you're supposed to go down. So let's make this clear. The Democratic Party is the party of the drug cartel. The Democratic Party supports drug dealers. The Democratic Party supports selling drugs to our children. The Democratic Party supports the death of over 100,000 young people in America through drug overdoses. The Democrats want to protect drug dealers. They want to protect the drug trade. And they want to hinder the American military from killing these jokers and taking them out. Got it? Good. They lied on Pete Hegseth by saying that he's the one that ordered the double tap that killed those men who had survived the first hit. Admiral Bradley has come in and said that he ordered it. And before then, you had 6 Democrats get on television telling American soldiers to not obey orders that they think are illegal. You know why? Because they want to save the drug cartels. They're in a hissy fit right now because it's messing with their money. Yeah, they got the street corner pimps calling them up in their congressional offices. Man, y'all got to stop this stuff. The price of the cocaine is getting too high. The people can't afford it no more. Y'all got to get down there and get Donald Trump to stop killing my people, man. If you don't, I ain't going to put no money, and I ain't going to give you no money for your campaign this fall. Now, Democrats getting to work. What can we do? We can say that they are violating the due process, and we can try to hook them up on war crimes that they keep on killing drug dealers. That's it. Well, what about the 100,000 young Americans they're killing every year? I mean, won't the American people be concerned about that? Ah! American people do what we tell them, especially the black ones in the ghetto. And the liberals are evil. They want to get their cocaine too, and they want to get their money. But the blacks will do what we tell them. That's where we're going to sell it. We're going to sell it in the black neighborhoods and give it to black children, and they don't care anyway, just like they sell in The Godfather. Keep it amongst the coloreds, the animals anyway. So let them lose their souls. This is your party. So all of you who vote for this party, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. For all of you that vote for this party, you deserve what you get. For the rest of you, I want you to watch this now. And I want you to keep telling Pete Hegseth, keep telling the Trump administration to blow these jokers up and kill them where they find them. Have no pity. Have no remorse. Kill them where you find them. Shoot up the whole bunch. And let God figure out who's who. That's how we stop this. Let's not be apologetic about it. We don't even have to be surgical. We're going to hit them so hard, they're going to be like the Roberto Duran when Sugar Ray Leonard was on it. No mas! No mas. That's how you stop this. The question becomes one and one only. Do we have the nerve to do it? Or are we going to go back into our little corner and say we have to play right while they're hitting us with low blows, while they're hitting us with sticks and bricks and rocks, and you still trying to fight the Queensberry rules of boxing. And this guy got a buzzsaw coming at you with it. And you think you can win that fight, you're dead already. You better be willing to fight instead of use the same tactics as your opponents. If not, you're a dead man. And I'm going to keep bringing you this message because I'm here to wake you up. And I hope I did you some good here today. So join me again for another edition of the Vince Everett Ellison Show. All right, friends, Vince Everett Ellison is here. I want you to go to my website. And on my website, you're going to see a lot of great stuff, man. You're going to see that we got T-shirts, we got caps. You got my books, my documentaries. You got all kinds of stuff on VinceSpeaksTruth.com. Go there. We're dropping new T-shirts. We're dropping new merchandise. My new book, The End of Tolerance, is there. The End of Tolerance. Make sure you get it. Make it #1. If you got my first 3, get The End of Tolerance. It's just as good. And it's telling us we have to end our tolerance with these leftists, these Democrats. We can no longer allow them to sexually groom our children. We can no longer allow them to castrate little boys and call them little girls, run God out of the public square, take away our guns, take away our sovereignty. No longer allow it. So go on VinceSpeaksTruth.com. That is VinceSpeaksTruth.com. Hit merchandise. You'll see the T-shirts. You'll see the caps. You'll see the books. You'll see the documentaries. You'll see it all. And let's keep this ball rolling. God bless you.